What are some of the available financial assets that individuals, especially non-entrepreneurs, can hold in Ghana? In Ghana, a significant number of us are likely to spend our working life being employees rather than owners of businesses. Of course, most of us would love to own our own businesses, but the trend over the years has been that a significant number of workers retire as employees. And this tells us that the salaries we earn is as important as what the salaries generate as income. My name is Dr. Sana, and in this video, I'm going to share with you three important financial assets that you can invest in for additional income, especially as a non-entrepreneur. The first financial asset is treasury bills. What are treasury bills? They are simply short-term loans to the government. In Ghana, the Bank of Ghana issues treasury bills on behalf of the government. But in most cases, you and I cannot go directly to the Bank of Ghana to buy treasury bills. So the commercial banks go to Bank of Ghana to buy the T-bills on behalf of their customers. So if you need to invest in treasury bills, what you need to do is to contact a bank that deals in T-bills, and the bank will help you to buy. Also, there are financial apps, companies with apps that you can easily subscribe to buy T-bills. One typical example is IC Security or IC Wealth, their app. But what you have to do is that you have to make sure that the company is registered with the regulators so that you are not scammed. What are some of the advantages of T-bills? One advantage is that the risk profile is usually low. So it is highly unlikely that you will lose your principal. And the other advantage is that it is usually short term, ranging between 91 days and 365 days. So if we invest in treasury bills and it matures, the government pays you the principal plus the interest, the pre-agreed interest. For example, if you buy treasury bills worth 10,000 Ghana cedis and it matures, and the interest rate is 10%, the government will pay you 10,000 Ghana cedis of your principal and 10% on the 10,000 Ghana cedis, which is 1,000 Ghana cedis. So at maturity, your money will be 11,000 Ghana cedis. So that is how the treasury bill system works. The second category of financial assets is mutual funds, usually called collective investment schemes. And mutual funds usually have active fund managers. So what the fund manager does is to pool financial resources, investment from investors, and invest them on their behalf. So there are different categories of mutual funds ranging from low risk to high risk. For the low risk one, we have the money market mutual funds, where the fund manager allocates a larger share of the money into investing in the money market. For example, investing in the treasury bills. The other category is balanced fund or balanced mutual fund, where the fund manager splits the money between the money market fund and that of the equity. So the last one is the equity mutual fund, where the fund manager allocates a larger part of the investment into investing in the equity market. For example, buying shares of companies in the stock market. So these are the three kinds of mutual funds that are available, especially in the Ghanaian market. And usually, depending on your risk profile, you choose which one suits you. If your objective is short term and you have low risk tolerance, then the money market mutual fund is usually good. If you are long term, then the equity market would work for you. And if you want to take relatively high risk, then the equity market would work good for you. So depending on your risk profile and your investment goal, then you will choose between these three, whether money market, balance fund, or the equity market mutual funds. The last financial asset I want to talk about is stocks. That is buying shares of companies. And you can do this through credible brokers. In Ghana, there are quite a number of credible brokers that you can use to buy stocks from the stock market. And usually, companies come to the stock market to raise funds. And once you buy the shares of that company, you become a shareholder of that particular company. And if the company is doing well, you are likely to gain. And if the company is not also doing well, you are likely to lose. And there are two kinds of gains that you can make once you hold the shares of a company. There are the dividends and the capital gains. Dividends means that the company has made profit and it is sharing the profit with its shareholders. For example, recently MTN paid dividends to its shareholders, meaning that the company made profit. The other aspect is capital gains. That means that the price at which you bought the shares has increased over time. So once you sell the shares, you will make capital gain. So the difference between the price at which you bought it and the price at which you sell it is the capital gains. For example, when MTN was selling its shares in 2018, they sold it at 75 per share, and today it is around 6.5 cedis. So if you bought MTN shares in 2018 and you are selling today, the difference between the price of 75 pesos and that of 6.5 cedis is your capital gain per share. So you now multiply that by the number of shares that you have with the company, and that will be your profit or your capital gain. So these are the three main assets, financial assets, I want to share. And if you find this video educative, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel for more. However, this is not intended to be a financial advice. It is meant to educate and inform. If you need any financial advice, do not forget to contact a financial advisor. Thank you, and I will see you in my next video.